Okay, everybody, welcome to another beginner tutorial. I've been asked a lot on my YouTube channel about cabinet impulses because it seems that everyone uses them, but it's a little bit hard to get for the beginners that just start with audio and music creation. To kind of get what cabinet impulses are and how, especially how to use them. I got a lot of messages that some guys mailed me like, okay, there's that cabinet impulse from Rosen Digital. I downloaded it and it's a WAV file, but I cannot play it back. I open it in my audio software and I cannot play back the WAV file. What's that? How does that work? And I'm gonna explain that to you. So this is a tutorial for the very beginners that just want to use cabinet impulses on their, maybe most of the time it's a metal tone. Our beginner friends always try to create the badass metal tones in their audio software, right? Which is a good thing. And I'm just gonna explain to you what cabinet impulses are and how to use them, okay? So first, what you usually do is you create a track in your digital audio workstation. This is Kakos Reaper here. And I'm going to enable direct recording. Name the track something like Badassed. Why not? Badassed metal tone. It's my badass metal tone track. That's right. Okay. Now we got add in some plugins. For the time being, I'm gonna use the TSE X50 V2 plugin. It's a nice metal tone plugin. It's a simulation. It ships with two preamps, the X50 and the X30. The X50 is a PV 5150 amp simulation, and the X30 is the Engel. Not Fireball, it's the Engel Powerball amp simulation. And the crazy good thing about this plugin, it ships with a complete guitar effect change. So you get stomp boxes, not many, but all the great ones, like Noise Gate and a great distortion plugin, the TSE 808, some may know it. You get two preamps, you get power amps, where you can choose between the 6L6GC and the EL34 tubes, power tubes. And you get a huge cabinet section. And these are all built-in. You get the Rosen Digital, Kellogg, Fat Lazy Caps, all that stuff, and the well-known GuitarHacks impulses. And as you can see, you can just select impulses here. And what this basically is, every one of those is one single guitar impulse. Okay. Before I dive into that, let's create a basic tone that we're gonna use for checking out the cabinet impulses, and that I can explain a little bit better what impulses do. So first, I'm gonna add in a noise fighter here, which is a basic noise gate. Gonna pull the fade to 9 milliseconds, a very low attack, and I'm gonna up my threshold to minus 50 dB, enable that, and I'm gonna add in the TSE 808, a famous, very famous, in my opinion, one of the best distortion plugins out there for digital recording. Gonna dial up the volume a little bit, enable that. I wanna add a little bit more of mid-range, and I wanna back down the gain of the amp a little bit. Gonna adjust the bias to minus 80 volts because it just sounds rad. And now I'm gonna choose the GuitarHacks Edge Cabinet Impulse. Okay, let's listen to that, how it sounds like. Maybe I should turn up my guitar. Works. It's a very, very, very gentle tone, so to say. Okay. Sounds nice, right? So now, what are impulses? Impulses, I'm gonna grab my Explorer here. And I have saved my impulses in my plugin folder. There is a folder called impulses, and that's where all my impulses are stored. So as you can see, I have basically three, not four. You see 4 folders, but it's 3 plugin or 3 cabinet impulses bundles. I got the Rosen Digital, the Recabinet 5, and the 3 Sigma audio guitar impulses. This is a very, very, very new bundle of the creators of Rosen Digital impulses, okay? So let's hop into, for example, the Rosen Digital. It's a well-known impulses bundle. And there you can see what amps you have available. Let's go for the American Custom, for example, which is a very nice amp. It's a combination about a low-end Mesa Boogie 4x12 cabinet combined with the high-end and mid-range of a Port City 2x12 amp. Or cabinet, sorry, not an amp, it's a cabinet. So if you dial into here, you get wave files or impulses for a lot of different audio systems like the XFX, you get the Kemper profiling amp, and you get all your impulses for a specific sample rate. So I'm using, as you can see up here, I'm using 96 kilohertz at 24-bit wave. If I dial into here, okay, I have 3 wave files available here. These are impulses. This is basically what you can download from the internet. There are a lot of free impulses like the GuitarHacks impulses pack, or there are the Carthesis impulses pack. The Gods caps are free. I think I'm gonna put some links to free impulse response packs below the video and the video description on YouTube. So you have a little bit of stuff to play with, okay? So the Rosen Digital Impulses pack is not for free. I think it's about $8 for a cabinet. I don't know. Don't want to talk about prices here. Okay, but what we got 3 different impulses now for the American Custom cabinet. So what is this wave file? Normally, you beginners perhaps know that wave files are audio files. Usually wave files are like a giant version, a lossless version of MP3, so to say. Or the other way around, MP3 is a little bit more compact version of the wave file. So what you basically can do, you can open up like Winamp or AIMP or whatever have you, pull this wave file into your player, and you can play back the wave file. But that's not gonna work with these impulse files, because these wave files are not really wave files as you know them, right? So what can you do with it? An impulse response. What is an impulse response? So to get that clear, an impulse response is a cabinet. It's a cabinet. So, okay, what? An impulse response is a cabinet. Huh? What? Okay, let's let's pull that back a little bit. What do you need in order to create a guitar tone? Let's view our DAW here. Basically, maybe you need some stomp boxes like noise gates and distortion pedals. You need a preamp. This is basically what every real guitarist has. He has that dual rectifier or that PV5150, and all those amps have power tubes or a power amp. And last but not least, there's a cabinet. So your fat metal tube metal head always stands on a 4x12 metal cabinet, right? That's how you ballers do it. And the cabinet is the most important part of the guitar sound, because did you ever listen to a guitar sound without a cabinet? Let's do it. I'm gonna deactivate the cabinet. Cover your ears a little bit. That's gonna be ugly. That's how a guitar tone, a PV5150 amp would sound, even in real life, without a cabinet. And by the way, don't destroy your metal head now. You need to plug your head into a cabinet. If you don't plug your head into a cabinet and you play it, your head will gonna explode, or at least overheat. You will damage your tube. So don't ever turn on your head, your guitar head, without having it plugged in to a cabinet or another power. There are some how those things are called, I don't know. There are little boxes, load boxes. I think they are called load boxes, but I don't want to talk about this. So always plug it into a cabinet. Okay, so here we go. An amp without a cabinet. Ugh. Okay, not nice sounding, right? And if we enable the cabinet, it sounds a little bit more like we would expect a badass metal tone. So basically what the cabinet does, putting it a little bit theoretically, the cabinet speaker transforms an audio input source, so in this case the output of your amp, into another audio signal. So it transforms an input audio signal to an output audio signal. A real cabinet does that through its speakers. It moves the air in the cabinet, and that produces a sound for the human ear. That's basically what it does. So a cabinet impulse. Now, what a cabinet impulse file really is, it is the exact function that transforms an audio source into another audio signal. And basically, what I have here, the GuitarHacks Edge, for example, this is a little WAV file that contains that physical function, so to say. It's a very physical thing. I don't want to get too much into detail, but it's at least a physical or a mathematical function that transforms an input audio source into another audio signal. So this audio source is transformed by the cabinet into this. That's very basic. You don't need to know how that works. I don't even know how that works. I just know that it works. Okay? And now, back to the WAV files. So you downloaded the Rosen Digital's WAV files, which should be cabinets. Rosen Digital says, okay, these are cabinets. Then let's see if those are cabinets. I don't use the built-in Rosen Digital cabinets here in the TSE X50 now. I'm going to go to the browser and select the Rosen Digital, Rosen American Custom. As I said, I'm going to use the 96 kilohertz, and I'm going to select the first WAV file. And I can load this here. As you can see, it looks a little bit weird. Okay, let's see how that sounds like. Okay, so it works. So the WAV file is kind of a mathematical function that applies to my amp outputs a sound and transforms it into a really nice guitar metal tone. Okay, but how do you load that WAV file? As you can see, I have the TSE X50 V2 open here. This is a plugin which ships with a cabinet section. And basically, if you now go ahead and you are working, for example, with free audio plugins. Let's say you're working with a Paulin LePou plugins like the Lecto. Let's do that. Get rid of the X50, and most of you guys probably know those plugins. Where is it? Lecto. Here we go. This is a very, very well-known Mesa Boogie rectifier plugin. So on its own, Let's add a TSC 808 V2 in front of it as distortion. Okay, here we got our amp tone. No cabinet whatsoever. There's a little bit of noise now because I don't have a noise gate applied. We don't care about that for the moment, okay? So now we have this Rosen digital wave files laying on our hard drive. Now we need a plugin where we can load those wave files, because those wave files alone, you cannot load your wave files into your plugin chain here. That doesn't work. So what you need for this is an impulse loader. And there are many different impulse loaders out there. These are just audio plugins which you can use in your digital audio workstation like Cubase, Reaper, Pro Tools, Logic, Studio One, or whatever have you. And these plugins are capable of loading and interpreting those wave files as cabinets. In my case, I have two possibilities here where I can load impulses. The first one is the TSC 808 V2 that has a cabinet section in it, and I have the Recabinet 5 cabinet plugin where I can load impulses too. There are free versions. A very well-known plugin is the Paulin Le Cap. Le Cap is probably the most well-known cabinet impulse loader out there. And I think I'm going to post a link below the video in the video description. You can download it. I think there is no 64-bit version of the plugin available, so you're gonna get it. You gotta use the 32-bit version. I configured my audio workstation here to only deal with 64-bit versions of plugins, so I cannot really use the Le Cap in my Reaper setup. I could set up it to interpret 32-bit plugins, but I didn't do that. So I'm gonna show you that within Recabinet 5. So I can load two different wave files for a single channel, and I can blend between them. I want to blend all to the left channel, so the right channel is just out of the game here. I even disable that. I disable everything that I have. All right. So, and now you can select a path on your hard drive where you want to load your wave files from. I have set my default impulses path to C, program files, plugins, impulses, where I usually store my impulses packages. Here we got the Rosen Digital. And let's select the orange PPC this time, which is a 4x12 orange cabinet. Very awesome cabinet. Again, the 96 kilohertz. And let's select a wave file. And there we go. Here we have our orange sound. It's a little bit quieter. Okay. And we can even select, let's enable the second cabinet, blend those two cabinets on the same channel. If I now go ahead and select, for example, a Mesa rectifier cabinet here on the right side, now I got an orange PPC and a Mesa rectifier cabinet blended 50-50 on the same channel. And I can blend between them. That's the orange. That's a Mesa. You can use them both together on a single channel. That's pretty nice. And I think the free version of Le Cap from Paulin is even capable of blending six impulses on the same channel, which is goddamn awesome. All right, I hope that this tutorial helped you guys, you beginners, a little bit. now you know what impulses are, what they do, and especially how you can load them within your digital audio workstation and get them working. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye.